So here we got a little video here of Benelli TNT. So we're just going to run through the basic parameters tab first, and I'll show you a little bit else of what's on there. So you can see we've got various selections. We've got the main diagnosis section, we've got the ECU update section, that's for official Benelli dealers who have access to map uploads, service and the wiring diagrams. So we're just going to crack on, get into the data. So the software tells you which cable you need, where to connect it, and just follow the prompts, and then we get into the system and have a look at what's there. So we've got no faults, so that's good straight up, and then we're on to the parameters. We can have a look and see what's in there. We've got 24 parameters, so you can scroll up and down and have a look at the information. So I'll just scroll through here, slowly give you an idea of what's there on this particular bike. So the bike's not running currently, so this is just all the values you've got while the engine is stopped. A pretty good voltage there with the ignition on. Again, engine isn't running yet, so we can graph all this data and we can see some information there. We've got the minimum and maximum voltage value, so as we started the engine the voltage dropped down to 7.6 volts momentarily, so that's a useful little feature to use just to check battery condition and make sure the system is charging. Idle valve, so that's idle speed control, so we'll just have a look at that, and you can see how that reduces the number. So there's the idle speed controller opening valve or flapper dependent on the system, and that will just gradually decrease as the engine warms up and the oil can come down. So again, you can just check that the idle speed system, regardless of the bike, most of them have that these days, and you can see what's happening and if that's working properly. An example, injection duration, you can see again how that reduces as the engine warms up. You can also see our air temperature and engine temperature there, so again those will change, and the air temperature generally will change as well with the bike sitting stationary. So we've gone into the favourite section here, so this is where we can just choose some certain data, so it's always useful to plug in to every bike that comes in, regardless if you need to, really, and use it as a service tool. So you can choose a few parameters and save them as a standard kind of layout. So every bike you have come in, plug into it, do a warm-up test while you're warming up the oil to change it, and you can just save these parameters and they'll be saved forever for this particular bike as a basic set of parameters, and we call it warm-up. Just chose some random things for the purposes of the video. So we can see the information there, so we're just down to what we want to see here rather than all the other information that we're not interested in this particular case, because we're just doing a basic log of information and data. So again, we can put that into graphical format, and we've got a couple of recording options here. We can just record the data as it is, or we can do a road test. It shows up there as dynamic test. We can do a print, and we can edit the data that we want to see. So if we just press on record, we can record a minimum of a minute, but we can stop this at any point, so just recording a couple of seconds of data. Ideally you want to record a whole warm-up process. So we can save that printout, that gets saved into a folder which text provide automatically, so it just gets put into there straight away. That's all accessible via desktop. And then we can go back And we've got faults, no faults, statuses, we've got side stand, gearbox status and type of map. So on these bikes we have map 1 and map 2. Map 1 is the idle map, and when it's riding it'll be on the main map 2 map. There's actually a bit of adjustment for that in this particular model. We'll get to that in this part 2 of this video in the settings. So for this one, we're just showing you there the graphical display. We can just lift the side stand up and down, and you can see the switches working on and off. So if you think there's an intermittent problem, that's quite an easy way to see if the switch is working correctly by lifting the stand up and down. If it has an intermittent connection, you might be able to just trick it into momentarily thinking the stand is up or down, and that could be the cause of a problem that you might be facing with a misfire, for example. And then gear status, that's basically in gear or neutral. So this bike will tell you what gear you're in, but it will just tell you whether it's in gear. Bit of ECU information and some activations, and the settings we'll cover on another video.